What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Code. Dr. Andrew Fix with Physio Room here, coming back with another solo episode. This one will probably be a little bit shorter, but nonetheless, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, hopping on here, and supporting our podcast. I mean, we've seen nothing but 5-star reviews. I really, really appreciate that. Hopefully, you guys are finding some value in these conversations we're having with our interview guests and then in the topics that I'm hopping on here talking to you guys about. And the one I want to talk to you guys about today is prioritization, right? And prioritizing what's important to you and what's important in your life. So this came up. I was having an appointment with a client of ours yesterday. And, she's been a client of ours. Her husband has been a client of ours for many months at this point, probably over a year at this point. And, we've seen them for various things. We've worked with them in various capacities. And what I mean by that is we work with them from a physical therapy standpoint. We've worked with them, her husband, from a personal training standpoint, and really in trying to create a program that they can perform at home that doesn't require them to come into the office too consistently when they're not dealing with things that are bothering them that we can help them out with, but that keeps them on track and keeps them accountable so that they can reach the goals that they want to reach, right? So that they can accomplish the things that they want to do. And that at the end of the day, that's always the goal is, it's not about making money. It's not about getting people into our office over and over and over again. It's about helping people achieve the outcome that they want. And we guide them like the best of our abilities, right? We guide them to that. There's manual techniques, there's exercise guidance, there's education, whatever all goes into that, whether it's in person or virtual. That's the goal at the end of the day, is to help people try and accomplish the outcome that they're looking for. And so she and I were having a conversation yesterday. And one of the things that has been a little bit tricky for her since she started was not that she doesn't know what to do, because we've taught her in her appointments the home exercises that she should be doing to address the symptoms that she has, right? And to continue feeling the improvement that she wants to feel. However, although she has a list of things and sets and reps and all that we've asked her to do, she struggles to do them because of accountability, right? She struggles to just put the time in the day, even though it's not very long, maybe like 15 minutes, to do it. So she comes back in for her once a month appointment yesterday, and she has some good news that she wants to share to me. So she pulls out her planner notebook, and she lives by this thing, right? She's writing appointments down. She's got her work schedule in there in this planner notebook. And what she's started to do in the last month since we saw her last is really put an emphasis on priority for her home exercise program. So she's started scheduling in her workout sessions. Okay. So 2 days per week. And I guess this is not even just the home exercise program we gave her, but she's gotten back into a regular exercise routine that she used to do several years ago with a personal trainer through another office. And she has fallen off the bandwagon with that, right? That office no longer does personal training in their facility. Their goals have shifted. That was actually the office that referred this individual to us, which was amazing. We have a great relationship with them. And you guys have heard about Trivita Functional Medicine on this show before. There's an awesome episode if you want to go check that out. They do a wonderful job. So anyways, she has started scheduling 2 days per week her workout sessions in. And they're not taking a long time. It's like 30 minutes or less. But she was very proud of the fact that, hey, she's making a priority to do this, where the several months prior, there's always been one obstacle after another that has just come up in her day or in her week that has, for the most part, prevented her from getting these things done. But now they're not. She's been consistent for 4 weeks with her exercise routine because she's scheduling it. She's scheduling it, you guys, just like she would schedule anything else, right? If there's something important in your life, whether that's something for your profession or your career, work related, whether that's something for your family, whether that's something for you, if it's important, it needs to go on your schedule and not just be something on your list that you hope to get to when all of the other to-do list items are done, right? That's one of the ways that we fall off the bandwagon with goals that we have is if you're planning to work out after all of your other things have finished in the day, well, what if the day doesn't go according to the plan that you had when you went to bed the night before, or even when you woke up that morning, and your day is going well, and then all of a sudden shit hits the fan, right? Something happens that derails the plan for your day. A lot of times, some of the other things that were on our list don't get done because they weren't scheduled. They weren't important enough to have time blocked out, dedicated to them, right? So since we're talking about fitness, this is something that I have to do in my life. Otherwise, I miss it. And then, quite frankly, otherwise, I'm a grumpy person to be around. If I'm not getting the activity time in my day and in my week, I'm not as fun to be around. If you're unsure, ask my wife, Erin. She'll tell you, Andrew needs to exercise. He's a busybody. He needs to move. And however, if I don't schedule my workouts into my day, then things are going to get in the way of that, whether it's client appointments, whether it's podcast interviews, whatever it is, something's going to get in the way if I don't have that workout blocked in. And it's non-negotiable, right? I was having the same conversation with a different client yesterday. He wanted to schedule a particular time for an appointment on my calendar a few weeks from now. And I told him, well, I don't really want to do that time because that's the time that I have my workout planned for the day. However, if that's really the best time for you, I can do it, because of what I see here is I can move that workout to a different time that's still available on my schedule. As long as I get it in, I don't mind what time it takes place. And then his response back to me, because fitness is also very important in his life, was no, don't move your workout. Do the workout at 12 like you have it scheduled. I'll come in at 11. 12 is a little bit better for me, but I don't want you to sacrifice your workout because I know it's important to you. And, that'd be important to me too. So I'll come at 11 o'clock and that's going to work just fine. I'll see you at 11. So that was amazing, right? We have something that we connect on. He doesn't want me to sacrifice something that he appreciates about me, that I take fitness as much of a priority as he does. So he wanted to have me keep that in my schedule. Again, I would have been just as happy to move that to 5 p.m. where I had another slot available, but normally I do 12. He said, no, keep the 12. Okay, keep the 12. We'll go from there. And I'll come in at 11. So that's what this woman's doing. She's scheduling in things that are important. So whatever the topic is, right now we're talking about fitness. But if it's meal times, right? You want to turn over a new leaf and you want to be mindful when you eat. Well, schedule in the time for your meals so that you're not just like eating on the go. Or whether it's a date night for you and your significant other, your spouse, your partner, whoever that might be, and you're struggling to, life's busy, you're struggling to get date nights in, but it's something that you find important. Put it on the calendar, put it on your schedule, and then schedule other things around it, right? If it's on the calendar, if it has its own dedicated time slot, it is so much more likely to happen. And you've written it down or you've put it in your phone or whatever that is, like put it down. So something that's like really important to me, even though we don't have them yet, is we plan to have children, right? Erin and I plan to have kids. And what's really important to me is being present at their activities and their events, whether that's a game or a dance recital, band concert, like you name it, right? Whatever that is, soccer, football, basketball, who knows what it might be. Maybe it's a track meet if they run like I did. And I want to be at those things. So when the time comes and I get the schedule for those events and for those activities, you better believe I'm going to try as best as I can to put those things on the calendar first and then schedule the other things that I need to do, my work commitments, my meetings, podcasts. I'm going to schedule that stuff around it because although they're important, they're not as important and they can't take up the same time slot as those things, right? Is being present at those events that are important to me and they're going to be important to those future children, right? But put it on the calendar. If you guys have a team meeting that's really important for work, I would assume it's probably blocked at the same time every week. And it happens, right? Because it's on the schedule. And the only time you're going to move that is if something more pressing comes up that is more important for you to do at that particular date and time. It kind of reminds me, I've talked to a couple financial advisors or read a couple finance books. And a lot of the information you hear from people that are successful financially, it's the same investment idea that they say, right? Pay yourself first. When you receive your paycheck or you get your direct deposit from your work, have a certain percentage of that going away right off the top. You don't even have to think about it. Just set it on automatic and you pay yourself first. Well, this is the same idea. Schedule the things that are important to you first, date nights, exercise in your week, whatever that might be, and then schedule the other things around it. Now, I realize that is so much easier said than done. Okay. I understand that. We all have really busy lives. We all have really busy schedules. Some people work different jobs than others that have more or less flexibility built into, what they can do with their work. Some people have to be physically at a location. Some people work remotely. Some people work by appointment. Some don't. You get what I'm going after here. But to the best of your ability, if something is important to you, it needs to become a priority. It needs to become a priority in your schedule and in your routine. And then you build your habits and your structure of your schedule around those things. And then what's going to happen is it's going to be like a positive snowball effect. Because you're doing the things that are important to you, you're probably going to be happier and more fulfilled. Other people are probably going to notice that. Your conversations and relationships with other people are probably going to be more positive in interaction. And you're just going to be overall a better person to be around, a better version of yourself. Right? So I hope that this sort of struck a chord with you, because I was so happy to hear this client of ours tell me this in her appointment yesterday. I told her that I was going to be recording a podcast episode on this. And here you go. It's 24 hours later. That's exactly what we're doing. So shout out to her. We won't say her name, but shout out to her for being the inspiration behind this episode on prioritizing what's important for you in your life. Now go out there and do it. We'll catch you next week, hopefully, on another episode of The Code. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.